Hey everybody, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is part of the ongoing anthology series called Star Wars Saturdays, and it's happening during Gauntlet Community's Open Gaming Weekend. Oh my goodness, what are we playing? We're playing Teens in Space as Greg is demonstrating the Origins award-winning Teens in Space. That is what we're playing every month. I choose a different RPG system. Sometimes I run a couple within the month. And we have a wiki where we track all the craziness that's going on with this shared setting. It happens during the timeline of the original trilogy and slightly after, which is where we are now. Teens in Space is a game about young, like adolescents who are gallivanting about in a space opera fashion. We've done a little to no tweaking to the game, only adding species. And so, because, Star Wars. And there are species in Teens in Space, but they're not very Star Wars-y. So we just went with these Star Wars species and I reskinned it. So I did a little bit of hacking to Star Warsify it, but at its core, this is generally Teens in Space. Like, if you get it and you're like, wait, this says specifically that the GM is the only person who gets to say when certain things happen, and I'm not doing that, that's the one part where I'm probably ignoring some of the rules, because I've got 3 amazing players here. Why would I not give them the ability to help tell part of their downfall? They're way more creative and usually more vicious towards themselves than I am. So really, it's for everyone's benefit that we share this narration from time to time. So we are the third of 5 sessions. We're at the midpoint. We've determined some things that are going on in our universe. One of the cool things I like about Teens in Space is that we talk about rumors while we are talking about our ship, which we have named the Dreaming Gundark. All those used to be named the Tempest. And some of the rumors we have is that there's this whole fleet of Clone Wars era ships that we have determined are outside of or in orbit around a planet known as Traven in the Minos cluster. There's also a big tour de Minos cluster, kind of Tour de France meets Cannonball Run, kind of huge spaceship race that's happening in the Minos cluster that is hosted by none other than the Tapani noble exile Lord Cor Falkine, who recently surprisingly survived an assassination attempt. We have also found out that one of the crew of the Dreaming Gundark may be related to the royal line of, the Zygerian Empire. So that could be a thing, possibly. We'll see if there's like singing and woodland animals and birds and the like whistling as they work or something along those lines. We'll see. Before we go around the horn and introduce folks, I'll remind us of our safety tools. We have lines against sexual assault, sexual violence, and coercion, and against torture. We will veil any scenes along the lines of consensual sex, grief, or loss. Those 2 things will just veil it. We're not afraid of that content. We just don't want to shine a heavy light on it. And then ask first this content here. If one of us think, oh, this might be a thing where this could happen, let's check in with the table first, and that is harm to pet animals, mind control and domination, and suicide. On top of that, we have the X card. You guys have played with me a whole bunch. You know what that is. If you're watching this and you don't know what X card is, the X card is a safety tool where we'll stop play. There's some particular troubling content for any player. The player does not have to justify or tell the story of why it bothers them. Only reason we even stop play is so I can check in and make sure I understand what's been X carded. Then it's gone and we move on. It's a very brutal, like it's a brusque tool. There are more refined, more gentle safety tools out there, but I call myself the Orc Lord, so I like the brutal tool of just like, no, let's stop and cut it out, throw the thing over on the floor over there, and just keep on rolling. So, with all of that out of the way, let's go around the horn and remind ourselves of our teens. Sherry, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, my name is Sherry. She, her pronouns, and I am playing Marseille, a human who has the role of a captain on this ship. She comes from a large shipping family. She is apparently far more brainy than she is charming, but she longs to be dashing. She longs to be dashing. And all of her horrible failures are when she is trying that out. But yeah, and she lucked into this situation because Karwu found the ship and it needed a captain. I mean, of course it needed a captain. Every ship does.
It's so true. It's so very true. Every ship needs a captain. Sabine, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns. I'm playing Zara Tarvo, a Cygerian who was rescued from a slaving ship by pirate merc figures who took her on and raised her with lots of parental figures. She has lots of ideas about what freedom means and why that's important and who she is. And she is a pretty good pilot. And she will, at one time, she will tell you about how long she took for the castle run, and it will amaze you. And this is not clickbaity at all. Apparently, some Cygerians think that she's a princess, and she's trying to figure out now how to turn that into a heist. So, yeah, that's basically Syra for you. She also changes the name of the ship around a lot because, I don't know, because she likes to. And she spray paints stuff on things people don't get out of the way quickly enough. She will spray paint people.
I like this heist plan. This is news to me. Very, very thrilling. Greg, you're up. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hey, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Karwu Pol, a Celestin, who also uses he, him pronouns. Karwu is an engineer-ish. He did pull this ship up from the surface of that planet in the Minos cluster. The one Cheshirite, right? One of the
Purgatory.
No,
Purgator. Yes.
Purgator. That's it. And quickly found this crew aboard one of the space stations above, and they have roped him in to all of these terrible adventures. But he might be slowly falling for one of the Twi'lek passengers, and he is starting to maybe take on some of this daring do, as we ended last session with him pulling out his blaster and shooting the lights out in the little, cantina that let teens in. I mean, how shady is this place? Yeah.
Pretty sketch. Yeah, honestly. We are on the planet of Eliad, which was a planet where during the reign of the Galactic Empire, Emperor Palpatine exiled a number of core world and Tapani nobles to this planet. Since the fall of Emperor Palpatine and the rise of the New Republic, many exiled nobles have been in a rush to return to their luxurious homeworlds, and Eliad has gone through a great deal of change. You guys had just delivered Sero and the aforementioned Dia Bonduna, the Twi'lek, here. They had some work. You guys had said, hey, we'll part ways, but Dia said, if we come running and screaming, maybe we'd like passage back off of Eliad. You spent some time learning information from a certain captain by the name of Deslock, who's a member of the Unbound, found out all of this aforementioned princess dealings. And then Mar, you reached out to your eldest brother, Karsay, and found out a bit more about that and those Republic-era ships. Then you were rudely interrupted by a couple of events. First, a Dia coming in, half carrying a Sero who was bleeding from his right arm. And then a Trandoshan grabbed your crewmate, Ivory, screaming about giving me my comm badge back. He slammed her against the wall. Karwu shot out the lights, which was so heroic. So very heroic. Marse, you've retrieved the comm badge from Ivory, threw it at the Trandoshan just before the lights went out. And when it got really dark, first we heard the Ithorian, who was playing some kind of ancient video-related gaming machine. She screamed that she nearly had a high score when the power went out, and she was very cross. But then Dia Bonduna yelled out, "We have to go. There's Pike Syndicate everywhere." So that's where we had ended on that bit of a cliffhanger. So we're going to pick up with the three of you, along with Ivory and Sero and Dia, running through the streets of the Eliad spaceport with blaster fire coming after you. The first thing that we hear as you guys are being harried is over your comms, a series of bleeps and whistles and blurbs, which is the basic, or the basic speak from Riffin, your astromech, saying, "I'll get it started. That's fine. That's fine. Whoever arrives here alive will just leave the planet. You never let me have any of the fun." So, the lot of you are hiding in an alleyway so the Pike, just so we're all on the same page, Pike, the Pyke, the Pike Syndicate is also the family name and also generally the same species. They are tall, they have long limbs, they have these weird kind of oddly shaped heads. This sounds terrible, but like this is how my brain thinks of it. If you've ever seen the floating airmen or whatever, that like in America at like car dealerships, they kind of remind me of that for some reason. But then they wear these totally dope looking helmets that make them look terrifying. A troop of Pike Syndicate warriors run past the alleyway that you guys are hiding in. So, Karwu, you see that Dia is tending to Sero, that Ivory's eyes are wide, and there's the possibility that she may just bail right now. Like she's looking at the other end of the alleyway and thinking, do I climb? Do I just run down this alleyway away from them? What do you do, Karwu?
So Karwu is very proud of his remote control that he installed on the ship. So he is furiously tapping on a data pad, trying to get the Gundark to come over here and provide some covering fire. And if we're running towards the Gundark and the Gundark is coming to us, then we have a quarter of the way to go. So yeah, I'm trying to get a good position and maybe have it lay down some covering fire for us.
That sounds awesome. I think with that remote capability, then you are... Somebody renamed the tab for the Dreaming Gundart. That amuses me. Sorry, I didn't even see that just now. It just like popped. So let's have you remote control your ship. That, of course, means you'll be using flight. Yeah.
Which, oh no, I didn't add a bonus to that.
See,
what's my difficulty?
So I think, well, we do have, you're going to be using not the manned gun turrets because there are no men on them. Why do we have to, like, couldn't it be person? I don't know. But I don't think thruster sentient shields. So I think we're just going with a regular D4 from your turbo lasers. And what is your difficulty? I think is the question you'd asked me that I like stumbled away and didn't answer. Your difficulty is going to be it's going to call it a 10, a nice even 10. You've got a chance.
Not much of one. Okay. Let's see. And that I'm rolling flight, you said?
You're rolling flight plus a d4, and you get to add the two together.
Okay.
Do
plus a d4. Okay.
yeah, plus a d4 that comes from your
From the
turbo
turbo lasers. Gotcha. Okay, so here's my flight. That's a 12. Awesome.
What? Nice.
And then
Does that mean it
roll.
explodes?
That
Yes,
does mean
yes.
it explodes, and my
Yes.
d4 explodes.
Oh my goodness.
So that's another d4. That's a 3. And let's roll another flight. That's an 11.
Holy crap.
That's a 30.
Jeez, Pete. Okay. So here's
Difficulty
the
by 20.
yeah.
I think
Roll
the proper
model.
response is our hero.
The character succeeds smoothly and easily. Likely, it looks like the character's just showing off, or the task is done so readily that it happens without any effort at all. The GM's discretion, there could be some unexpected positive results from a success of this degree. As the player narrates their extraordinary success, the GM should work with them to give them a few additional benefits. So, what does this look like, Karwu?
So Karwu, I think Karwu has to. Sorry, I'm clipping a bit this morning. I don't know what's going on with my audio. So he has to bypass our silly droid, Riffin, has to bypass Riffin, and he's doing all of this very quickly. And he gets like a drone, straight up front view of the ship, and he's like, it's almost like a video game at this point, and he's just boom, 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 and then he realizes that, like, wait, if I do this right, I'm gonna look like a total badass to Dia. Yeah. And so he just turns to Dia, he goes, "Don't worry, I've got you." And then he presses the button and the turbo laser hits at the end of the alley, and there's like an explosion. So he's like perfectly silhouetted in this explosion as like some of the syndicate people go flying.
That is super duper dope. I love it. Awesome. So, Sabine, you're back. You can hear us. Everything good? Okay, cool. We had a quick tech issue there. Yeah, I'm sorry, the Undark, is that what we called it now? The Undark, your ship?
The Undark, yes.
The Undark comes swooping over, firing upon the pike as Karwu has described. Is it a thing where you guys like climb up? You climb up the side of the building to be able to reach it, or does it actually land in the street nearby and you run across to it? What do you think, Karwu?
Oh, I think it like straddles the buildings, right, in an alleyway.
Nice.
And then like maybe even like ropes descend. So like we have to grab onto and fly up with. Yeah.
Sweet. We hear some burps and blurps and whistles, and you're told by your astromech droid, just climb up. I'm not doing everything for you. Riffin, of course, is going to take a little bit of the credit there. Yes, you can pull your IPs to improve your ship some more with Karwu's amazing successes there, with a few blaster shots, of course, right, to add tension. You guys scale up, get into the ship, and then she's like pulling up and pulling away from Eliad, and then you guys can take off. So we will, I imagine, Zyra, you would climb up into the cockpit, right, and take over for the remotes that Karwu was doing. What is the thing, Zyra, that the remotes do to the way this ship pilots that frustrates you the most?
I think there are always these pop-ups. Every time this thing goes to remote, there are it resets the warnings if you're overclocking something or anything. And if I then start doing it my style, I will get a lot of, no, this might damage your hyperdrive. This might overclock your shields. Are you sure you want to do this? And that's rather
Warning.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I love that.
exactly. There are these little pop-ups, and you have to just
Why do you
close
keep
all these.
disabling the safety protocols?
Because they're boring.
They're there for a reason.
Yeah, because most people can't handle the heat. I can, so most people are pirates. I mean, I'm not a pirate. I'm not. Of course not. Oh, and not that I'm complaining or anything, but why are the pikes after us?
Oh, sweet. Yeah. And you see that Dia is applying some like some Bacta spray to Sero's arm. Dia went bad. We didn't know they were involved. They showed up in force. I'm sure they're not going to lead the planet over us, though. And meanwhile, we see like a pair of ships that have taken off from the Eliad spaceport.
Yeah. And also I'm adding the Bacto spray to their bill. And then so
Warning, warning, your ship is being targeted. Zyra, it's another one of those warnings that you're quickly, I assume.
Yeah, I know that our ship's being targeted. Shut up. That's
wait,
why we have
our ship is
shields.
being targeted?
Sure, our ship is being targeted. I mean, that's why we're flying away, right?
The ship shakes a little bit, but the shields hold. These starfighters, these are Pike arc. Basically, they're souped up. Like the arcs were the precursor to the X-wings. This is a newer version of the arc, so it doesn't have the S-foils or the split ability, but it looks a lot like one of the Clone War era ARCs that they've just kept kind of upgrading and iterating through. And you hear over the comms, Dreaming Gundark, we do not wish to blast you out of space. All we want is the Twi'lek and the human. We will take them, or we will pick their
Like
dead.
you even can blast us out of space, Cobrahead. Forget it. Get lost.
Very well. And then they start firing on you again. What do you
Okay.
do, Ira? Oh, Captain, what's up?
So Marseille, I think she's moving back to one of the manned guns so she can return some fire. Keep them busy.
Cool. Well, then I think that would be definitely an attempt to fire upon them. So why don't we have you do that? I think we've got this whole fight thing.
Mhm.
I think that's with weapons or fighting skills that you know. So you do have
Good thing
a
we've
plus
just
one bonus.
upgraded our turbo lasers.
Good call. So your turbo lasers now are a D6.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to be rolling a D6 plus your other D6. So 2D6, and don't forget you have a bonus of plus one. And the difficulty for firing on these Pike arc, or basically starfighters, is a nice, yummy 15. They are very sleek and fast.
I am that jerk player that has to ask, where's the rolling room link?
You are
the
not a
sheet.
jerk player, and I am going to drop it into chat right now.
Oh, thank you. I also have a +3 to.
Oh, man, Greg beat me to it.
Oh, he's good.
On the draw, I thought I'd be dead. He put the gun to my head, and this is what he said. Sorry.
All right. So I'm rolling 2 D6s.
You're rolling 2d6s, 1d6 for your fight skill,
Okay.
1d6 for the turbo lasers of the ship. You add both of them together. They both can explode. And then you add a +1 on top of that because of your human bonus.
I
I was
also
gonna-
have a +3 to protect my crewmates.
Mia, you really, is that what you're doing by firing on people that are firing on you? Is that technically what you're
Yes.
doing? Okay.
Yes, to distract them.
If you want it, Karwu can also give you a motivating speech.
I need the motivating speech. She's stopped by Karwu.
So I think I think it's not so much a motivating speech, so much as it's like a, you know, you're running past me
Mhm.
on the way to man the gun turret, and Karwu is screaming. And you know, well, Dia is back to spraying him. I'm like doing the equivalent like foam spray thing to keep the engines together as these sparks are flying, and it motivates you to protect us because Karwu is losing his mind and is way over dramatic.
Awesome. So what does that do, though?
That gives you a +2 to your roll, and
Oh.
I spend my adversity token because that's definitely some adversity.
Holy
Okay.
cats. So
So
that is a +6 to your roll, and you're rolling 2d6. You only needs a 15, so chances are good. Let's see how it goes. I'm trying to curse you by talking about how easy this is. The
Did
good
it.
news is you get an adversity token.
Yeah, and I need one.
You need one for later.
Yeah. And what did I need? A
15.
Oh.
Yeah. And you rolled a 4, and then adding all of those benefits means it just basically got you to a 10, right?
Mhm.
If I give you one of my adversity tokens, my last one, could you use that for your lucky to trigger your lucky thing, or doesn't it work that way?
That's interesting.
I don't know.
I mean, I think you're supposed to, like, there are no
Like,
rules for giving away adversity tokens to others that I have seen. So it's a neat idea, but I think we're just going to have you get shot.
Okay.
So you'll get an adversity token, and next time around, you'll be able to
Reroll if I need to.
Yeah, exactly. So
no problem.
Yeah, you fire upon one of the 2 ARC starfighters. You hit it, but unfortunately, you took out one of its like little dorsal fin type wings, and it hurtles straight forward and slams into. Basically, he's lost control, and this Pike starfighter pilot slams into the Gundark, and it's enough to kind of throw a bunch. Warning, your shields have been depleted. Warning, the hull, the starboard hull has been penetrated. Warning, we are venting to space.
Yeah, fine.
Shutting all those
down. This is kind of I'm kind of used to this. This is kind of fine.
Sweet. Yeah, I think
so. This is the moment that we're over a city, right?
You guys are over a city, have not yet hit into space.
No, then we'll go and use the city to get to lose these arc thingies.
Well, yeah, there's only one to lose, because
one
of them crashed into you and then fell down to.
Yeah, but I make my plans when we still had 2 on our tail. I didn't expect one of them to crash into us.
Who did? You're awesome. It seems like losing a starfighter with a big clunky Clone Wars, pre-Clone Wars era ship is going to be difficult, don't you think?
No.
No, you don't think it'll be hard at all? No. I think it's going to be hard. Yeah, I do. I don't know why.
Hard.
I mean, we'll see. The dice will tell us when you roll a 16.
16, okay.
Success is extraordinary, but decidedly possible for those who are truly skilled at it.
Yeah, and I think I will use the thrusters to our advantage here.
Yep,
because
so you can use your D8.
I mean, our thrusters are D10 though.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see the other check.
Super fast.
We are really super fast. That's why I'm doing this, because that's what we need here, being super fast.
Somebody souped up this big clunky hunk of junk.
It's not a big clunky hunk of junk. It's our home. Watch how you're talking about our lovely ship. So I'm rolling, right? Let's see how that goes. Okay, yeah, goes well. I've rolled a 19. It's a 22.
Wow, that is a pretty good roll there. So a total of 22. Based on the rules, you've gone between 5 to 9 above. You succeed quite impressively. You might have some additional benefits beyond the success, but these will be slight and only occur if a whatever. It's just, a whole lot of stuff.
Mhm.
That's good. What does that look like as you lose an ARC starfighter over Elliot Spaceport?
Well, I think what we're doing is we are taking the Gundark and flying into basically the streets of this city. I mean, we might there might be some confusion as to what that means, or why sorry, words. The people in the streets are a bit confused about this ship racing down their streets. There will be a lot of videos, so maybe that could be the tiny advantage we get, that we get amazing videos on the HoloNet of our amazing ship rushing down the streets. And I think the ARC pilot is a bit confused about the whole thing, and then his friend crashes into our flank. And I don't think he doesn't want to risk it. You think they'll just come up. I'll just wait here for them and take have the high ground here. And then they're looking in the wrong place. They expect us to come out at some sort of plaza. And what we do is, well, we can go through space, so we can go through the river, and we just dive into the river, take on some water, and then come out at the waterfall on the other side. And they did not expect that at all. And when they realized that we were gone, because they realized that only when I sent them a, hey, I think you're looking in the wrong place, and then we're off.
You dive down into the Eliad Lake and then skip back up again before they know what is going on. Yeah, the hold has taken on water because Ivory went down there to try to seal it with some sealant while Carr was working on the engines, and she did not get it completely sealed by the time that you dove into the lake. So she comes out like shaking herself. She's all wet. We have water in the hold.
Is the hold
Yeah, at least
sealed?
we don't have fire in the hold.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, I had to hold my breath. I'm not a very good swimmer, but I think I sealed it all.
Well, cool.
Before we hit above the atmosphere or whatever, we'll do a test to make sure that the ship's sealed. We just run the diagnostics real quick.
You bet. Why don't you give me a brains roll? Your difficulty, if you want to take some time, you can just say it's a thing, but if you want to quickly roll, your difficulty is a 8.
Okay, I'll try it. What the heck? Let's see here. So it's a D20.
It is a D20.
Okay. I got a 7.
Okay. That's not I think I said it was 8, right?
Yeah,
I think you failed.
I know.
I've still got one. Hey, you failed before. You have an adversity token, and so do I. So I could give you mine, or you could take your own.
I could take my own, I suppose.
I mean,
So,
Hold on just a
could give
second.
you
Do we
mine
have any
because
sensor-related things? Thrusters, sentience, shields? I mean, just want to make sure there wasn't any like ship tech.
oh, something to ship
thrown
that
in there.
has anything.
Scanners mid-range.
see.
No, I think that just determines how far you can scan. So sorry. Yeah, I think that stands. I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. So you have
Okay.
some adversity tokens. Do you guys
Yeah. I can spend it.
gonna luck it up? All right.
Sure. I mean, it's a reroll, so I can still screw it up just as well. So
You can.
I know. It's awesome.
if it's only the 1 point that you're missing, you could just add it to your 7 and have an 8.
Oh, that's
And
true.
you'd
Oh,
have
that's true.
succeeded.
That's
And you'd
probably
have
much
succeeded.
safer.
You don't have to
Seems safer.
re-roll. And
Zyra, the voice of reason?
I think that's Sabine.
No,
Cyrus,
Only
like,
the
Sarah is
atmosphere.
not the voice of reason. Sarah is of the opinion that freezing water will see the breach. And anyway, hull breaches aren't all that dangerous.
So with this, like just barely skating by, Mara, you realize it is not fully sealed. So what do we see? Like There's no role involved, but like I want to see what does Marseille do to make sure that this thing ends up being completely sealed before you guys hit Atmo and before you leave the atmosphere and go out into space.
I think the thing that she does is she walks back to Ivory and she goes, "Oh, can you check the cabins and get them settled in so that Ivory doesn't see her going down to the hold?" And she sort of stops and she looks at Karwoo when she goes to pick up the sealant, gives him a thumbs up, and goes down to take care of it.
Oh man. And when you get down, it's like, waist deep water in the hold. And you like there are actually a couple fish that you see in there.
Oh, and I think like she seals it and then she tries to catch the fish, like because she doesn't want them to, she's like they're gonna die down here is her thing, so because they'll freeze. So she tries, and then she kind of comes up and she's got like these fish in her shirt that's wet. And she sort of like runs to the kitchen to put them in a glass, some sort of container.
Sweet. And so we jump ahead to everybody other than Sero. So Dia, Ivory, the three of you're sitting around the table, and who is eating fried fish?
If I'm not eating fried fish, I'm trying to catch one of them in the glass and see if we can eat them.
Karwoo is begrudgingly eating the fried fish.
See, that went very well. I mean, I'm still unclear about what the pikes want from us, but
He says,
maybe someone can
yeah,
illuminate
I
the
can,
situation.
Yeah, and she's seated right by you, Karwoo, by the way. She says, I'm so sorry. We had some stuff to deliver, and then it turned out that the stuff that we brought them wasn't what they wanted. They became very upset. There was threat to kill. There were, threats to kill us, and we ran and came to you. Sero got hit, and he's doing okay now. I think I just wanted him to rest.
And you can still pay us, right, for the whole rescue thingy?
Yeah. I just got to sell some stuff. If that's okay, if you guys can wait until wherever we get where we're going, and I can pawn a few things, then we'll be even, okay?
Karwoo puts his hand on Diaz and goes, "It's okay. You can pay us when you can."
And
Did Zyra make that face? Because I totally imagine Zyra making that face.
I think Marseille kind of looks at Dia and is like, "We'll get you to someplace you could pawn those things."
He says, listen, I can give you the things, you can pawn them if you want. I want to be even. You guys really saved our butts back there. So I'm not trying to make any more trouble than the trouble you just got us out of. And she looks to Karwoo like, please back me up here.
Yeah, I always wanted to be marked by a crime syndicate. That sounds fun. So,
I've lost track of how many crime syndicates are coming after us at this point. What's one more?
Maybe we should keep records. I don't know. And then I think Marseille goes, "Zyra, where do you want to go?"
Good question here. I mean, we should maybe have some sort of plan. I heard that they're good if you're doing a heist, and instead of just going in with a vague idea of getting money from people. So what I think I'd like to kind of take these Cygerians and milk them a bit with a whole princess thing, but I don't want to go there and have to do things. So, but I think plans are more your thing, Marseille, really.
So essentially you want someplace from which we can make a quick exit.
Yeah.
And where a quick exit won't draw too much attention.
I don't mind attention.
Karwu, how long would it take to get the ship ready for the race?
Race.
Oh.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
It could take weeks. No. I think so. There's still water in the hold, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to vent the water out of the hold. That's just extra mass. I think most of the engine systems were undamaged despite all of our escape hijinks. She could be ready in a day.
All right. And I sort of turned to Dia and says, I think that we need you as, how should we say, known wheelers and dealers to be the ones to contact the Zygerians and say that you can line up Miss Zyra for them.
Oh,
It's
that
Princess Syra.
that sounds Princess Zyra. Princess Zyra. Oh, this is good. You're a princess? I had no idea. Should I like
Neither did I.
genuflect? Is that a thing where
Yeah,
I
go.
like?
Go.
Okay, awesome.
I have no idea. Go ahead and genuflect if you want to. I didn't know I was a princess either. I mean, I always kind of wanted to be a princess when I was 5, but yeah, the Unbound don't go much for princesses. So
She like takes on this pretty like courtly bow from her seat. It says, "I am more than capable of arranging something." So you want to contact them and notify them you have the princess, correct?
That you have the princess. I don't want them to know
That
where
I
she's
have the princess, using my extensive street cred and the fact that the Pike Syndicate's after me. That sounds good. Yes,
Yep.
that's very believable.
No, well, they just want the location of the princess, right?
Right. That's all they wanted, to arrange a meeting. Good. Yes. Okay, let's do that thing. I'll borrow your comms, and once we pop out of hyperspace, I will make the call.
Okay.
and we'll meet them at the race, right? Because that's the
Yes.
perfect place to get away.
I assume you want to collect the money, correct?
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, then. I suppose we'll have to set the time for the meeting then about 5 minutes after the race start time. We'll begin with a small disadvantage, but I'm sure we can make it out.
Oh, sure. I mean, we have the best ship, we have the best mechanic, we have the best captain, and we have a fairly good pilot. Hey,
She's the
don't
best
knock our
princess
mood.
pilot ever.
Yeah, I'm the best princess pilot ever. That's true. That I like that.
Ivory looks over at you, Carwo, and says, "If I can help get the ship ready, just let me know what you need me to do."
Yeah. Well, I'll need an extra pair of hands, Ivory. That's for sure.
Well, I have that.
So Carwo's plan to drain the hold is to at least reroute some of this water into the greenhouse to help refresh those systems. That will take some of it away. And then the rest, I think he wants to, I don't know, Star Warsify, turn it into fuel. Something to be used in the race and in a moment of panic, like a
Ooh.
boost.
Interesting. Water fuel, like some kind of hydrogen
Hydrogen.
engine.
Yeah,
That is
some hydrolysis kind of thing, you know.
that seems pretty big. That seems like a thing, right? So let's say a lucky 13 is your target for something that crazy. Let's do that.
Okay. Brains, I assume?
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget
Okay.
your bonus of 2.
It is bonus of 2. You said 13, right?
I did.
Okay. And then would this be part of my creating repairing technology? They
You
plus
bet.
3 for that. Okay.
You're creating a hydrogen engine. That doesn't sound dangerous
Okay.
at all.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Here we go. That's a 5 plus 3. That's an 8.
Faily.
That's pretty faily. I don't have anything. Yeah, I think I failed that.
So the good news is you get an adversity token, friend.
Hey,
The better news
it's
is
like a boost.
this engine, it's amazing and perfect in every way. There's no reason to test it. When you need it most, all you have to do is flip that button. You'll get the boost of a light, like a nitrous engine. Really, this hydrogen engine is the best.
I love it. It's glorious. It's hooked right up to the greenhouse. I don't even know what that means.
That's the best way to do it. You can like backfill all the water from all the irrigation channels from the greenhouse to soup it up and give it that extra kick. Yeah. Good stuff. So I think is our next scene to pick up with you guys like near the race. Is that what we have? Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Well, you know what? I think this should be a time for a brief break. It is 3 till. Let's take like 5 minutes, and when we pick back up, you guys will be sidling up to the race. Oh, during the break, Sherry, if you could think about your black sheep of the family, of the Say family. Her name is Farse, and what is it that she is that most annoys you about your? I assume she's older because you're the youngest. Your troublesome black sheep of the family, Farse. So think about that, and we'll see you guys in like 5. We pick up with the gun shark. I'm sorry, your ship, the gun shark. As you are pulling up to the starting line, I think that the Tour de Minos would start because okay, so sorry, I'm stammering all over the place. What is up with me? Let me become coherent. I'm going to share screens. Here's what I imagine the Tour de Minos looks like. It would start. I think we'll have it start at Yelsain, and it is going to circle around all the way down to Purgator, and back up again, and I think it's going to end at Aderlan because that's like the biggest, most populous hollow type deal. And the way I'm envisioning it is that there are like legs of it. Like it's a thing where you fly to a certain point and you can win the first legs, kind of like Tour de France, right? You have, we'll say 3 legs, and because that makes a stool. And then you compare the times for each of the legs, and that's how you can work out who's going to win. That's what I was thinking about that this morning. I think one of the legs is definitely going to end at Purgator because that just seems like the worst thing ever for you guys since you've stolen the ship from Purgator, quote unquote stolen. And it will be finishing at Aderlan. So now we need to figure out, we have no information for Pontchartrain, Trentlator, no information there. Reltaire, no information. Quacra, which is a desert world. So of those 3, I'll ask Sabine. Of these, like Quacra, Reltaire, Trantalor, or Pontchartrain. See, the Pontchartrain might be a little too close. So I'll give you a choice of these 3. Either Quacra, which is a desert world, or we'll need to define Reltaire or Trantalor. Which of those 3 do you think is the what we'll call it, like the next to last leg? Like this will be the second leg, I guess.
I think it's Reltaire.
Reltaire? Okay.
Yeah, I want to define something.
Sweet. So second leg ends at Reltaire. Do we want to say that like the first leg is literally just like the longest stretch? So we like stop at Purgator, we stop at Reltaire, and then you finish at Aderlan. Does that sound cool to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of wild. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys for letting me figure that out with you. In the true rules of Teens in Space, GM should have narrated all that. Sorry, I cheated. Tour de Minos. That's it. That's what it's called now. Tour de Minos. That's perfect. Second leg of Tour de Minos.
What does the trophy look like for the Tour de Minos?
Oh,
What are we actually like racing for?
that's
Besides our lives, apparently. But yeah.
Probably ship's fittings of some sort, right?
Oh, a lifetime supply to like certain ships fittings. I think that maybe you can tell that I just watched Solo. Something like made out of like this statue made out of coaxium.
I would be like explosive. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have to keep it in a field so it won't, get digged around. That'd be great.
And second place gets a barrel of rhydonium. Because they had that and they didn't know what to do with it, because all you can basically do with it is make explosives.
It's a very explosive thing. So the Tour de Minos, yeah, it's like they've found a way to take coaxium and put it in a storage thing. So if you wanted to, you could like open it up and use it as fuel, but it's relatively well protected. Like they're not going to present this trophy and it possibly kill everyone there. But yeah, it is coaxium because it has such a beautiful look to it, right? It's this like shiny blue, sparkly star sunburst thing. It's called the Sunburst Trophy.
Ooh.
Just came up with
Nice.
that. I kind of like it. I'm into the Sunburst Trophy. So we are starting off at Yelsane, in orbit around Yelsane, because of course you guys wouldn't be allowed to head down. But the Yelsane does have a few geosynchronous space stations in geosynchronous orbit. So you guys will be looking down upon, maybe we have like a cut where we see some of the tree punks as they're like zipping along on their little speeder bikes, and they look up and they see all these dark spots in the sky from the mini ships that have entered Tour de Minos. And of course, right, you get this trophy, you get like lifetime supplies for your parts for your ship that won, but you're going to end up in Adelon. It's really like, the holo deals that you can get. It's all about you're going to be on all kinds of Space Wheaties boxes. It's the stuff. That's what it's all about, really. So tell us, Marseille, about your sister, Farce, the black sheep of the Say family. What is it about her that bothers you the most?
Now, there's a whole set of reasons why she's the black sheep of the family, but what I loathe her is that she thinks she knows me, but it's like Lar and Zar, my older sisters, that she's mistaking me with. And she will always bring up these memories of like things that I supposedly did when I was a kid that I never did. That was Lar, that was Zar, but she will never believe me. And she's like over familiar, and the only time I ever saw her is she would show up on her birthday and ask for more money from my parents, and that was it. So, that was the entire part of her presence in my life.
She sounds like the worst.
She was the worst. She is the worst. No one has a worse sister than I do.
Oh, that is amazing. So as I have to go check the tab, the gun shark, I just want to make sure that it was still the gun shark right now. The gun shark is pulling up to the line. You guys are making the call, right? But when you open up the comm for Dia to sell off Princess Zyra, I love that your name was changed to Princess Zyra. That's great. When the comm opens, there's a comm signal coming in, and it is coming from the Faraday, which is a Mandalorian cruiser, which I'm currently dropping into our NPCs and places. That will be on row 8. Here we go. And the comm signal comes in, and here is Captain Marseille there, and it is the voice of your sister, your elder sister, Farce.
And I think Marseille like puts her hand down and like slams the comms off when that happens, and she like stands up and like does this kind of tight circle in the cockpit, or in the piloting area, and sort of. And she's like, God damn it! And turns back around and hits the comms. This is Marseille.
Oh, sister, I've heard that you're signing up for this race that I'm going to win. You should save yourself a lot of trouble. Remember that time when I beat you in the foot race? Twisted your ankle. It's so
Switch the
funny.
comms off again.
Hey, is something wrong with the comm system? I keep getting all of these flags going off.
Hey,
yeah.
Is your sister aware that this is not a foot race, though? I mean, I hope she's not trying to win this on foot. I mean, it would be kind of amazing if she did, right?
And I think Marseille turns and goes, I'm going to steal your line, okay? And I'll go, Far, this is not a foot race.
Remember that time that we were racing on swoop bikes and I left you in the dust? What was that? You had like some kind of actuator problem? Oh, it was so sweet, the victory. So sweet. You should just drop
Hold
out
on to
now,
that.
Mar. Drop out now, Mar, and save yourself the shame.
So I think Karwoo is trying to fix the comm system because it keeps cutting out. And
Dia's near you. She's like, I can't make the call every time this thing keeps coming in. It's jamming our signals.
So he overhears this, and he's gonna key the comms, and he's gonna pretend to be a race authority and tell the Faraday that it needs to that the starting line had to move due to a nebula burst, and he's gonna try and convince Farce that she needs to move and give her a disadvantage right here at the beginning of the race.
Oh my, that sounds like a fast one that could be really, really fun. I think we're gonna go with charm, right? It's how socially adept you are, how good you are at reading the emotions of others.
I have a D20 in charm, so we're gonna like.
No,
super
okay, then
swingy,
we'll go
but-
with brains. No. I think charm feels right. You actually have a bonus with that, in fact.
I do. I took one. Yeah.
Do. Sweet. You're not using any ship related things, so it's just your pure charm trying to win out here. So Farce isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer, actually. So we're going to call this an 11. Success will be impressive, but expected for those who are skilled at charming.
All right. Here we go. That is a 10. Actually, I never added the bonus to that, so that is an
You
11.
didn't add the bonus. That's right.
So that's an 11. I mean, that's enough. So yeah, it's just oh, this is toward Aminos Authority. Farce, this Faraday is in an improper racing location. You need to move over by the something asteroid, blah blah blah, or else you're going to be disqualified. And then just cuts.
Nice. And then Farce doesn't come back in again. You actually see the Faraday breaking away and like using some reverse thrusters to reposition the vehicle. And Dia's like, whew, and she puts on the little, ear cone things to knock out Princess Zyra to get some credits.
Okay.
And Dia's right by you, Karwoo. So you hear, yes, no, I have her. And she's following the plan. Like she's not trying to pull a fast one because you're watching her. Where is it that she is saying Princess Zyra is? Where did you guys want to set that up to be?
Oh,
Oh, the Faraday now.
oh,
Yeah, but we need to
love that.
go there. I mean, I want to see this guy, maybe. Just get out fast enough to not be taken anywhere I don't want. But I'm curious, a little curious, tiny. I want to talk to my uncle or whatever he thinks he is. But
Okay.
on a neutral place, maybe betting office or something like that.
Okay, so someplace super public.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want that to happen at, say, because if it's going to happen nowish, right, then you're above Yelsane. They're at Traven, so they're actually a hop, skip, and a jump away from you. The next place that you, if you participate in the race, the next place you would stop is in Purgator.
Maybe we could do it at Leg 2 and Rel Dings thingy. The last one, the one that we still have to define and that hopefully does not contain any enemies, like Yelsane or Purgator.
Yeah. So Dia is saying that we're going to meet on the artificial ring in Relataire. That could be anywhere, but there's an artificial ring.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, my brain is like, what does that even mean? An artificial ring? Ooh, cool.
So yeah, so there has to be like something that's set up for the race, like to watch it and all of those things. So it would be in that kind of area. So
I love there's an observation ring for the space race. We have to go through these.
Yeah, there's a VIP area, and that's where we can set up the meet. Where Dia can hand me over to my uncle.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I already have in mind what I'm going to wear for that occasion.
something pink.
Oh, that's I don't know. That would clash with my hair, don't you think? A little, but yeah, maybe.
Not at all. Yeah, pink is the color of princesses.
We should put bows in your hair, Ivory says from the back.
I don't even have that much hair. I mean, I could grow it out, but usually I just cut it off.
You have more hair than I do.
Huh?
You have more hair than I do.
It's true. Yeah, but Carl, what do you think? You're the hair expert.
Oh, I've got a great idea. And Karwu has been training on one of the shrubs in the greenhouse. It has totally been inspired. It's like, like a painter has a blue period. Karwu is doing a Yelsane tree punk period.
Nice.
And there's this very elaborate, like, spiky look that he wants to do to Zyra's hair.
That's really
So
cool.
that's going to take extensions and a lot of bows.
And color. It's going to take a little time.
Okay. Well, I have to fly the ship with these on, so bear that
I'll
in
get my
mind.
stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I did not realize that he was that enthusiastic about it.
And that's
cool.
when the race begins, right? And you guys, you're going to be a few minutes late. So the Desert Flower slips out ahead. That is a Twi'lek run ship. It slips in the front. And as you guys are working towards getting the ship going, the Faraday and the Foreboding both slip past. And there are hundreds of ships now, just like a fleet of medium class ships. Starfighters are not allowed. So the way that the first leg works, if you take a look again at the Minos cluster, is that you actually have to make a series of jumps, right? Because the hyperspace lanes curve, and so you've got to kind of jump, reposition, astrogate, jump. So there'll be 3 jumps total. First one at Eliad, the second one at the area that's just west of Gesseril, that point, and then the last one ending up at Purgator. So I think
And we
that
might want to blaze through Purgator, right? We don't want to stop there for a victory party or anything.
there is
because-
totally a dope victory party at Purgator.
Yeah, but the dope victory party would be kind of, I don't know if you think the same, but if these monk priest thingies come by and then try to repossess our ship in the middle of a race, that sounds like fun, but also sounds like it could take up some time that we don't have.
Sure, it could be problematic. Sure.
So what do you think? We blaze through that? I mean, we have, I imagine we have to kind of ping the racing station there just to prove that we were there actually, and then we could.
Right, you have to
Oh.
ping Purgator, and then you'll have to circle back around to take off from Purgator when the next leg begins, but you don't have to stay in Purgator.
Interesting. All right.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be fine. I mean, we
It'll be
don't need to
fine.
win, but we will, of course.
All right. So we're going to do a few die rolls.
Okay.
That'll be fun. Die rolls are
Will be.
fun. Everyone likes rolling dice.
Yeah. Particularly swingy dice. Super swingy.
So swingy, so much swing. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set a series of targets. Each time that you meet that target, you are in the middle of the pack. And for each kind of rank up, like if you look on the rules tab, there are the roll modifiers to target, right? So if you succeed with 0, like if you hit the target, you succeed, but not impressively. You're in the middle of the pack. And for each rank up, you're up a tier. So if you are +5 or higher above, +5 to +9, then you're in the very near the pack. And if it's 10 or more that you exceed by, then you're leading the leg. Does that make sense? Your thrusters do get to count for this roll because that's the whole reason you bought them up, so you can be an awesome racing ship. And the pilot is important here, but other people can try to help out if they can come up with a way. Helping out, it'll be situational, but what it can do is help to effectively lower your difficulty number that your pilot needs to hit. Does that all make sense? Cool. With that in mind, our first roll of the first leg, when you are headed to the wonderful, lovely Eliad, is going to be a difficulty of 18.
Wow.
Yeah, because these guys got a head start on you. And this will be the hardest roll of the others. You can definitely play catch up later, but right now, you knew you were setting yourself up to get a little
behind.
Little behind, but that's what this
Okay.
reflects. So 18 is your first difficulty.
Okay. Kind of neat. I appreciate
So-
somebody.
We can do helping actual actions, or do we?
Yeah.
Is it just adversity
Either or.
tokens?
You can do the adversity token to give pluses. You can do helping actions. The helping actions will take that 18 target number, take it down, and then the helping actions will just work mechanically as they do.
Well, can I do something like with the jumps that we have to make, since I come from the Say family and we know those jumps back and forth? That is
Absolutely. Maybe
that's
try to
our
code out
business.
a shortcut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Okay. So
Cool.
should I
think-
roll on that, or what?
You should. So we're going to call that a brains roll.
Okay.
Keep
Yeah.
trying to figure out the astrogation charts and find a way to not cheat, but like find a better way to chart this out. We'll call this a 13 difficulty. Oh, lucky 13. I love using that lucky 13.
Okay, let's see here. Lucky. This is a defending. It's not charm. Everything else needs a diversity. Well, if I fail it, at least I'll have a diversity token for
There you
later.
go.
Right? Right. It's
not-
all good. It's
A
all
fail,
good.
a fail will likely not make the difficulty harder, but if you fail terribly, it could.
Okay. So I think I rolled a 10.
Let's just pause for the ringing of the chimes. That was very cute.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, 13 is the difficulty. 10 is what you've rolled.
Yes.
Do you have a bonus on your brains? Don't think you do. Okay.
No, I'm just super smart, but it's back and forth.
Are you defending your crewmates? I think is the question. I'll pull the table. Thumbs up if you think that Marseille trying to help you win a race is defending your teammates.
I'm defending her ego in this. That's it.
All right.
Her
So
rep.
that
Defending
plus
her rep.
3.
Eventually, we'll put up our profits, so this is defending the crew.
Yes.
All right.
Ooh, that's true.
You miss out on an adversity token because you get that 13, which drops the difficulty of Princess's thing. So you plug in these coordinates at the last second just before Zyra sends you into hyperspace, and your difficulty drops from an 18 to a 15. And now we'll just check in. Karwu, are you just good to support? Possibly.
Karwu is prepping hair dyes and arranging his tools because he has to make Princess Zyra look as appealing as possible.
Nice. You're into that. That sounds good.
Well,
that means Ivory's keeping track of the engines, right?
If he becomes like a royal hairdresser, this engine room stuff, it's over. So
totally makes sense. All right, make the roll, Zyra. Difficulty 15.
Okay, and I can use the engines, right?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
That's what they're there for.
That's what they're there for. Okay, so I'll put in the roll modifier here. I'm rolling dice. Yeah, looks like I did it. I did a 21.
Whoa.
Oh, that your thrusters did not help very much.
Yeah, well, that's because we use these special hyperspace lanes, right? That's the thrusters weren't very much used on that. But, if you're a pilot like me, that doesn't matter that much.
Nice. So you throw the ship into hyperspace, and from the time of Yelsain to Eliad, you guys are near the front of the pack. And so I'll ask Marseille, when you guys come out and everybody's frantically trying to input the next set of astrogation coordinates, who is in the front? Is it the desert flower or the Faraday that is currently?
It's the Faraday, because she was using the same coordinates. Damn it, she remembers one thing right.
The Faraday is just ahead of you, like takes off. Like you come out of hyperspace, you see the Faraday, you have just enough time, and then she pops out again, and you hear over the comms shrill laughter from Captain Farse because she saw you just before she took off.
We have to catch up.
So there's a quick scene I'd like to have between Dia and Karwu as Karwu's working on all of this hair dye. Is this in the engine room that you're doing all this work, or are you in?
Well, no, because Zyra's flying, so it's like in the bridge area, right? I'm getting all the stuff ready so I can do Zyra's hair while she flies.
While she flies. Awesome. And so just so we're clear, because I don't think I talked timing very well, like the idea is that the first leg that you guys are doing is probably taking most of a day. And then when you get to Purgator, everyone gets a rest cycle of a number of hours. Then you do the second leg, and it will take a little less than a day. And then a rest cycle at Reltair. Then the last stretch is just a crazy mad dash to get to Aderlon.
Well, preparation is half the work. So
Cool. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I just want to make sure that we had the right, like on the same page from a timing perspective. Sweet. Riffin will be back in the engine room then. Dia is near you, watching you do all of this, and she leans in close and she says, "This is so fascinating. Why do you care so much about hair? Neither of us have any. It's so weird." Hair, I mean, not you.
Oh, well, in a way, it's like working on engines. You have to be very precise, and you have to be very patient.
Have you ever worn a hairpiece?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have.
Karwu does whatever blushing looks like in a Celestin.
Like his little gill flaps kind of vibrate a little. And she reaches up and kind of runs her hand over your bald head. Because I imagine she's a little taller than you, right? Celestins don't always look like they're a little on the short side.
Yes, they are.
That is adorable. You should show it to me sometime. You should.
Maybe.
Cool. So let's plug in our next thing. So the next hit, you guys are no longer terribly behind, which means that your difficulty is going to remain at that 15. So it's success is extraordinary, but possible for those who are truly skilled at it. Marseille, is there anything as captain you want to try to do? I think you're talking on mute, Sherry.
I think she's going to suggest like a sort of, what's the word for, a slingshot maneuver. When two other ships are going into hyperdrive, we come in between them and like eat off a bunch of their energy as we go to get an even faster trip through that thing.
Is the gunning Dream Shark going to do such a dangerous maneuver?
Of course we are. This is an amazing idea. Whoa. Yeah, we are doing that.
Nice. So that, so how do we want to reflect that? Do we want to do like a higher difficulty number for Zyra, but a better yield on the success?
I think maybe this could be my assistance. Only a droid, sorry, Princess Zyra, but only a droid can make the precise calculations needed to hit right between the two things. But Riffin won't do it unless Karwu convinces him to.
Awesome. I like it.
Yeah, I like that as well. I mean, sure, you need to you have to calculate this very precisely. And I mean, I can, of course, wing it.
No.
But
No.
this is actually pretty dangerous to wing.
You need to relax.
I've seen it done.
Marseille's like
badly.
massaging your shoulders.
It'll be good. Right now, just sort of, work. Just keep.
There's also foil in Zyra's hair. Where parts
really?
Are being
Okay.
dyed.
A pungent smell fills the bridge. Yeah.
Oh man, it's all bleachy. Riffin says via bleeps, whistles, and blurps, This is a terrible idea. We're all going to die. What are you even talking about, Celestin? Come on.
And I think Karwu is going to say, Riffin, you and I both know Zyra's going to do it with your help or not. So do you want to be scattered across the space lane, or do you want to make this happen?
Ooh, that's pretty awesome.
Tough talk
And he's
from Karwu.
pointing at him with barber scissors while he's saying this.
That is great. What were you triggering?
I'm just trying to do a charm.
Oh, nice.
It's
Okay.
like an intimidation kind of.
Sweet.
You better do this.
Intimidation charm. Awesome. We'll call that one an 11 then.
And will this be part of my skilled at creating repairing technology? Because I've interfaced. No, okay. I'm stretching it. Here we
All
go.
right.
Charm +1. Let me edit my roll. We can do these things. We have the technology. All right, here we go. Rolling charm. That's an 11.
Oh, exactly. Like right on the thing, he says, "You owe me an oil bath for this."
Put your thing on the computer and let's go.
Oil bath. And then he plugs in some extra calculations, which here's what we're gonna do, Zyra. Because of what you're doing, the difficulty will go back up again to 18. But if you succeed, you're going to get an extra D6 that you roll after you succeed that effectively adds to your distance. You know, like slingshot you ahead. Does that make sense? Does that make... All right, cool.
Yeah, okay. So this is a really hard roll here.
It is.
Wow. Okay, I guess, yeah, well, I will shoo Karwu away for a little. Like, yeah, no, let me fly now, okay? We can do this later. Let me fly now. And then I will start citing all the pirates and mercenaries who ever taught me anything. I will ask them if they are dead, maybe, then they should look at me in the force and help me push this through.
If you don't help me, to hell with you.
Yeah, no.
Prayer to Crom. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is not. Oh no, this was not it. Roll the 4. Well, maybe I could need a little luck here.
I was wondering if luck was going to happen.
Do I have one? Oh,
I don't have an.
Oh
do not
no,
have one.
you need to fail more. Oh no.
I know. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
Mercy, you're just so dashing and
I know. I haven't had a chance
Wait.
to dash. Everyone knows my game here. So
Yeah, well, I've
Let's see
got a question though. The lucky improvement is just a 1 point improvement, right?
I believe so, yes. Are you gonna take
take
the
it.
lucky-
Take it.
I'm taking it. I have 1 point left and I need luck. At
You've
least
been-
for this
You've been
one, I
watching
need luck.
Marseille's crazy luck and something. Wait,
Something
did
rubs
Marseille's
off
luck
here.
rub off on you?
Oh, yeah, I was giving her a
No,
massage. Yeah.
It's the force ghosts of my whatever.
Force goes.
I think I'm just re-rolling the. I'm just
Powerful
re-rolling the
power.
D20 though.
I'm
reroll-
re-roll a stat
do
check.
I just
yes,
re-
yes. Yeah.
So I'm just re-rolling one of these, right?
Hold on. How do we rule that last
Or-
time? I want to make sure we're consistent.
I
did I
think the last time I
that?
just re-rolled the D20.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was
just want to make
the-
sure
yeah.
we're consistent. Yeah. 'Cause
Okay, come
the
on.
game isn't
Now
clear.
this has to work better than last time. Well, come on, guys, help me out here. I need.
Yeah, 3 on a D20 is kind of
Technically, it doesn't have to. Okay.
It's a 6, so it's not. It's 4 and wait, it's a 17.
7 and 6. 7 and 6 is 13. And 4
17.
modifier 17.
17. Somebody
I can
got
spend an
another
adversity token.
Yeah.
You could.
do
Give
it.
you 2.
Do it. Do
What
it.
does it look like?
19.
So we're like halfway through with this haircut thing, but as you're about to jump, Karwu finishes something, and you see your reflection in the cockpit windows, and it's like when you get a really good haircut, and you're like, "Oh, I
Wow.
look good."
This is punk as hell with these spikes. I
And it's
love
just great
it.
because when I roll later and I have given you a terrible haircut, you can totally. But it was better halfway through, so that's
I
my
don't
adversity
mind.
token. Pushes us over.
Yeah. Wow. So we're at 19 and I'm going, that's 1 over.
That's 1 over. Now you get to roll a D6 and add that to that difference because it effectively
Okay.
shoots you forward. You roll a 6 on it.
we
It
don't.
will explode. It will explode. I just said
It
it.
will explode. I've got to roll a 6 for that. So
Ah,
oh,
4! You're in first place. Oh.
Yay! See?
That's awesome. So you
And
guys.
I will remind Marseille to say something snarky to her sister
Oh,
when
I
we
better
push
think about
past her.
it. Better think of that.
You're like training yourself for some snarky stuff.
Exactly.
Sweet. So you guys are coming out at the area just below 17. If you're looking at the Minos cluster tab, there is that yellow dot that's directly to the left of the word Karadef. That is the last section of this. You guys have been flying for hours now. You know, it's been intense. Zyra, you know, you're tired. Your shoulders are a little tight from all of the activity of pushing yourself forward in hyperspace. You have to lay in one more set of coordinates and then you guys will tag at Purgatory. So what is it that Marseille does when you come out and you see there are no other ships and you guys are already like mechanically plugging in new stuff before the Faraday and other ships start coming in?
Yeah, I leave a comm message so that as my sister comes out, she gets a aha.
You just like drop a little beacon, like a little drone there.
Exactly.
That's perfect. Sweet. You guys are in the lead. You just need to maintain the lead. The good news is that does drop your difficulty because you're not doing anything crazy. It's going to be a 14 now. So success is extraordinary. If you finish 10 ahead of that 14, then you remain. Well, actually, if you finish 5 or more ahead, then you're still in the lead. You wouldn't lose the lead because you have it. So, you know, you're looking good for the first leg here.
Zyra,
Yeah.
we're ahead. Should we use the engine? We can get even further ahead.
Yeah, sure. I mean, why not? Sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
Sweet.
Arlo runs back, and there's literally just a big red button on this thing that's like latched into the hold with all these water pipes going into it. And he slams it at the appropriate time.
And I slam the actuator or whatever it's called. So we go into hyperspace, and I will leave a message on the buoy that Marseille let loose, and that says "Eat water." What's an appropriate
Limo?
fun? Eat water, Slimos. Yeah, that's fine.
Right this way.
That's a good one. Awesome. You don't have your thrusters for this roll.
I know. I thought so. Well, you know, 14, right?
Yep.
I can make this. Maybe. No, I don't have 4 D20s. That's
When we have that problem, is there something that I could do to help? Can I make a roll that would assist, so to speak?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, okay.
so what happens is you guys time it right, and Zyra, you've dialed it in. You're about to hit into astrogation. Jump to hyperspace happens. You pull back on the lever as Karwu hits the thing, and you hear shoo 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 as the thrusters just cut out as they're overloaded. This new engine drew all the power from the main thrusters, and Karwu. You have the like flaps going as you're going crazy, and then like little bits of steam. It's like some kind of teapot sound comes out of it. It sounds amusing and mythical, and yeah. So, what would Marseille do in reaction to the thrusters just cutting out from all power being rerouted? Just basically drew everything to the water engine.
So all of those thrusters are add-ons, but the
course
ship
they are.
itself has its native thrusters that we had to abandon because we wanted to use these other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that essentially she just flips the switches and goes to at least the basic ship thrusters that came with it, which we haven't used that much, but you know, and just let those go. How's that?
Sounds good. Yeah,
All
I know
right.
it doesn't need to be a roll, but now your thrusters are a pitiful D6.
Yes, that's a little something.
Yeah, that's
You're
better
like
than nothing.
cut
right?
over to the secondary engines, the original engines, and they're like,
Oh, come on. You remember how to do this. I want to tune them up.
I'm still getting my oil bath.
Yes, later.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
rolling then, right?
All right.
14.
14 still your difficulty that you're headed
Okay,
for.
let's see where we go.
Oh,
Oh,
that does
well.
not look great at
That
all.
does not look great.
The
No, we're
D6
at
actually
12.
rolled real well for you, but that D20 hates
Yeah,
you.
the
And this is the second time you roll a
D20
3 on a
just
D20.
yeah, maybe I was a little distracted by the whole hair thing and everything. So yeah, and then what's up with the engines and why we were in the lead anyway, so this was good. And now it's
Yeah, I think what we see in this scene is you guys were ahead, you dropped the beacon, all the Slimo stuff, try to throw it into hyperspace, kick in the hyperspace engines, then you had the trouble, then other ships are coming in like, and they're plotting their things and taking off past you, and then finally Marseille, you're able to get the secondary thrusters back online, which were truly the primary thrusters. They rumble a little bit to life, and Zyra, you take off finally, but you can feel it, like it's sluggish. She doesn't feel great, and you end up with actually a 12, right? So
yeah, it's not
you
that bad.
lose the lead,
Yeah,
but you come in and basically the second cluster of everyone, you're like fourth when you guys hit Purgator. So you slide past the Purgator marker. Marseille, where do you want to take the gunning Dream Shark, since you guys are not going to be docking in the Purgator?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we would have to pop over. Well, what's at 15?
Well, that's a great question. What is at 15?
There's
Somewhere.
multiple 15s, so that's one
yeah,
of
I
the
know.
things.
I don't really understand what these numbers mean sometimes.
Oh, is
There's
that the length, the time? That's like the
Oh,
space between
wow,
those.
it is.
That's
It's
what it is.
time.
Okay.
Huh, you are so smart. What is
Okay.
the time? From where to where? I don't understand.
It's from Purgator to Dazak. It's a route number. Is what it is. And between any 2 points, there's a number for how many parsecs or whatever. I don't know what it is.
Nice. That's totally what it is. Thank you for helping to decode this thing I just stole off the internet.
Dazak would be great though, because we have family offices there, and Farse is not welcome. So I suggest we go there.
Sure. I mean, we get a head start anyway then if we go to Dazak, because it's en route, right?
No, you have to double back to Purgator and take off with everybody else. They place you, and you can time launch from however you finished. But yeah,
we get to keep our ship, so
get to keep your ship.
Yeah. We get to keep our ship. That's advantageous. Even though I don't know that I think this water thing needs a bit more work.
And Riffin says this water engine sucks.
Well, yes, the vacuum it creates is part of the use for it, right, Riffin? That's how it compresses the fluid.
So you're going to fix that, Karu, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it just needs some minor tweaking.
I can't wait to see it when it works.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, wouldn't it be fabulous if it worked at the last leg and everybody thinks, well, all these losers with their water, what are they doing? And then it works, and then we just shoot into the goal or something.
Listen, I get it. I'll fix it, okay? I'll fix it.
You can't do it, Karu. If you can't do it, no one can.
Oh man, you're all emotional. So yeah, you have a good bit of repairs to do. The main thrusters are offline, and I don't think you have all the parts here to do the repairs that need to be done. So what is the Zyra Tarvo? You have been to Dazak before. This Dazak system we'll call it Dazak Prime, because, you know, why not? What is the general, like, you know, in Star Wars, it's like everything is one climate or color. What is either our color for Dazak or the main climate of this world?
I think it's swampy.
Swampy? Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's a swampy world, and every houses and everything is on stilts. People even the natives even used to use stilts to walk around, but they now use electro stilts to run across the water spaces. Yeah, and that's Dazak with lots of stilty houses and even stilty skyscrapers for some reason, but they look very, they swing with the wind, and you have to get used to the swinging houses there.
Swinging houses.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys have a rest period, which is a period of several hours. And I know that one player just BRB'd. I was actually thinking this might be a time to take our break. You guys can think about if there's anything you wanted to do while you are in the swampy, stilty climb of Dazak. And I gotta put that stuff in the notes. So yeah, we'll take like 5 minutes again, and then we'll jump back in to see if anything you want to do in Dazak. I wasn't planning on the Tour de Minos being done in one session, just so you know, communication is clear on that one. See you guys in a few. All right, we are back. We pick up with Karwu in the engine room, steam everywhere billowing around him as he's trying to fix the thrusters and bring them back online. What are you doing, Karwu?
I built a sauna, not an engine. So yeah, Karwu is I think first trying to diagnose what went wrong, because it should have worked. And then he's gonna sort of backtrack through the systems and then make this thing work for real, because it's supposed to just like dump a ton of power into the engines, and it seems to have done the exact opposite.
So Captain Marseille, did you have offices, your corporation has offices here. Is it on planet? Is it in a space station? Where do you think your family's offices are located? Oh, you're talking to me.
Offices are on the space station, but the family home is on the surface. And yeah, and I think that she'll go, let's settle down. Let's go all the way to on planet. And she'll hit the beacons, and you'll get like a set of signals that come up, and she can come in under the atmosphere. It'll sort of lead you in. It's kind of really nice set of beacons that pop up. They're kind of real smooth and everything. Everything moves like it's not like you're used to with the planet-based things at a point. Everything seems very fluid here. And then it brings you down to a landing pad. It just looks like water is all you see, but it's saying land, land. When you do, that platform kind of comes up to meet, and as the ship hits it, platform comes down and hits the water and takes all the momentum of the landing, and just like uses that, it moves across the water that way and eats all that momentum. So it's like the gentlest landing you've ever had.
Nice. And then the original engines just and it's like venting outside of, because this thing got hot. These engines are not made to be pushed. So yeah, that's cool.
So, and it's in a swamp. You couldn't have seen the sort of waterway that you landed on for a lot of the overgrowth that's there, except for the beacons bringing you in. And so you're kind of under a lot of these sort of tall water trees that are there, and there's lights hanging from them, and it's like just this cathedral of trees. And then you can see the stilts and these kind of set of interconnected passageways between the trees. It almost looks like the rooms are in the trees themselves. And it just kind of stretches out, and you can see the lights of the tunnels between the trees.
That's cool. That's really, really cool.
That's not bad for a planet.
And of course, it's broken by Ivory, like pulling out some little music device and blasting music because she's super excited about this and running up and trying to check out all the different rooms.
Oh
Are
yeah.
there people here? Is this
Yeah.
just okay? So it's not like a vacation home that's abandoned. There are
No, and I think that's the thing is we kind of came suddenly, and they probably weren't expecting us, but they were watching the race. So I think that you get, what do you say, a very large family and all their retainers and all of their staff kind of coming out onto these different platforms around there to see us with a ship coming in down the water like that. So, and she's like,
nice.
she goes, we can take a little rest here for the hours we have.
Can any of your relatives, turn a spanner?
Only about 60% of them. And
I
she
could use all the
goes,
hands I can get.
I'll let them litigate which one gets to get inside the ship. So, and yeah, get out, the thing. And there are brothers and cousins and her parents and her aunts and her uncles and all of those people. And some of them are staying up top and clapping and everything because they've seen the results. But like a bunch of them, most of them, the mechanics, have like come down because they want to take a look at this ship.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they do. That is really cool. So I think we'll say that the brother Larse is the one who ends up volunteering / ordering everybody else to go away because he wants to come in and
okay, that sounds good.
throw a spanner to help out.
And I'm like, Lar, you got to see this thing, and you have to see the water engine that Karwu built because it didn't work.
It works in
Interesting.
theory.
The worst kind of working. Yep.
Cool.
And she will actually show off the ship and introduce everyone on the crew.
Larse is older than Mar. He appears to be in his late 30s, so he's basically ancient. He's got a little bit of a sharp wit, like he's a little less polite than Karse, but a lot more considerate than Farse. And he greets each of you. Says, so you tried to build a water engine, Karwu?
Well, it starts with water, but then I began to explain like the electrolysis process and how it's supposed to be similar to a coaxium shunt. If we
Yeah, and he like takes some notes. He says, "Well, I think your power couplings might be reversed. We could do it. We probably need a few trial and error,
Yeah, well, we've had one trial. It's definitely an error. So
Well, we have plenty of water here, so he gestures out to the swamp planet. So Princess Zyra Tarvo, what are you doing? You guys have a rest period here.
Yeah, cool. This is, look at these amazing stilt houses and these hallways and the trees. I want to look at all of them. I'll just, I mean, Carl was busy, so I'm just abandoning the hair project for now and go out and look at stuff that looks interesting. I mean, I'm tired, but who cares? I can take a stem and then we go.
Nice. Do you just take off by
And-
yourself, or do you try to
Yeah,
drag
I
someone?
mean-
Okay.
No, I'm not dragging anyone off after me, but I will tell Riffin that I'm going.
Yeah, like I
So
care.
that if anybody is looking for me, can tell them.
Oh, great.
I'll be back.
I'll be your messenger robot. That's
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Yeah,
No problem at
that's,
all. Like just whatever you want, princess. He says and
hey,
burbles,
hey.
whistles, and bleeps.
I'm never gonna get rid of this princess shit, right? Damn.
I do like to think of after Cyrus left, Marseille comes into the bridge, like clearly to come and get her, and she's like gone. She's like, where did she go? It's gotta introduce her. Where did she go? All right.
Gonna
Awesome.
introduce myself to those people who aren't working because they're probably the more interesting ones anyway.
Nice. So Ivory went to explore. Zyra went to explore. Each of them going on their own. Dia will come out of the quarters with Cero. Cero's up and moving around. He seems to have healed up. He's had a day to let the back to do its work. And yeah, Dia will check in with you, Marseille. Is there anything off limits here? I don't want to be a bad guest.
And she sort of stops and says, well, not really. It would be better if you don't help yourself to anything that you're perfectly aware of is not for guests. And she sort of stops, but should be fine to walk around. People help you out. Hopefully there'll be dinner. I'm hoping dinner. So do stick around.
Planet-bound food is always better than...
It is. I miss it. And the noodles here are the very best.
Ooh. Yes, that sounds fun. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your hospitality.
And she goes, if you have any questions, the people who wear the red stripes here, they are house staff. They will get you anything you need.
Red stripes, house staff. Sarah, remember that. Okay. And then they will disembark and leave Karwu with Larse working on things. Mar, what do you do now that Zyra's gone and everybody's kind of moved off the ship other than Karwu and your brother?
No. I check in on my brother. I'm like, do you need anything?
I think we've got this. You know what? Any like hands? It's a part list.
Okay.
If you could grab these, you know where we keep everything, of course.
I do. I will make sure these are set right back to the ship, okay? And she'll leave. And there's that thing of you're back home, you know everyone. So you say hi, you stop. It takes a little while for her to get to the parts depot because she has a lot of people to hug and to visit with and to give them just that little bit of chat. You have to.
Of course. Yeah. So it takes you a while to come back with parts. Cool. So, Karwu, you're working on the ship with Larse. It's been, I don't know, a few hours of hard work. You're starting to make some progress. Things are starting to like cycle together, right? And then Riffin comes along and says, Zyra's been gone for a very long time.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's all I said. I'm done. And then he wheels away. Zyra,
Karu was
what?
gonna.
Yeah, sorry.
Karu kind of looks around, looks at the engine. Maybe he'll just try the comms on the ship. They're spotty, but Zyra?
So, Zyra, what in this weird swamp planet have you discovered? And are you still in the family compound, or do you just end up going out into the swamp?
I'm just ending up going where it's interesting. And I think I found some sort of a bar that is maybe not exactly where the higher family members go. It's kind of a swampy bar that serves sort of red gut and sings weird swamp shanties. And I'm currently in the process of learning one of them.
Swamp shanty is great.
Yeah. And I will answer my comm, of course. It's maybe a bit spotty because it got wet a lot, because I fell from a tree, but into the water. It was fine. And I say, hey, Karu, I found this neat little place here. I'm learning a song.
You're learning a song?
I'm learning a song. It's
You're
an amazing
hearing
song.
like coming through the staticky mess, other people
See,
sing.
Riven, she's fine. And he shuts off the thing and goes back to working on the engine.
Awesome. So
Oh, she
Zyra,
should be fine.
these people are real friendly. I imagine,
Mhm.
like as they're singing with you, like one of the guys has stuck his arm around you, and he's like, "No, you have to hit the note like this," and you end up getting interrupted. You had your conversation with Karwu, and they like pull you back in for this song, and that's when the door, kind of iris door, opens up, and you see a Trandoshan, big lizard guys. It's like 6.5 feet tall. Ducks his head in, steps in, looks around, and he, of course, draws a lot of focus. You recognize that he is carrying basically a grenade launcher.
Fine.
He has
Do I
it
know him?
like in his hand. His name is Grinnick Nosh.
Cool.
He's a bounty hunter.
Of course he is.
And you see that a Jawa comes in behind him. So the two of them are definitely like, a very big size difference. And the Jawa is not wearing, like, he has the Jawa hood, but everything else is just like he's wearing regular clothing. He's got he is carrying, doesn't have any obvious weapons, but he is wearing armor. And then there's a human woman who comes in just behind the Jawa. They look around and then they start walking towards you.
Okay.
So we'll cut to Marseille. You make your way through the gauntlet of family, having to make promises to like check up on certain family members and telling stories to other family members. You get the parts. And when you deliver those to Karwu, they seem busy. To Karwu, you've just reached out. You spoke to Zyra, found out that she's learning swamp shanties. Marseille arrives, drops off a bunch of parts. Larsa says, "Thank you, appreciate that, Mar. This is coming along great. We should be done in a few hours." You're talking to me.
Yes, I was. And she kind of goes, did you hear anything from Zyra or Ivory where they went? Just thought I'd check up on them, make sure they knew that we were going to have a big dinner. And she kind of taps Larce with her foot. Big dinner. So, don't ruin your appetite.
Well, don't miss it, okay, Mar? If you've been invited, you have to show.
I know.
Okay. And then the two of you get a comm from Ivory. "Hey, Mar, Karwu. Okay, so I think Zyra's in trouble.
Where are you at?
I got bored and I started following these tracks, and it turns out that it was Zyra, and I think she fell at some point, but then she's okay. And so I followed her, and she's at a cantina, I think, Although it could be a drug den. It could be a drug den, but it's probably a cantina because they're singing. And I just saw some pretty mean looking customers go inside. I haven't heard any shots fired yet, but you know, Zyra. You talking on mute, Greg? Oh, okay. All right. I saw mouth moving.
I was going to
thought
say,
you were-
oh, I spoke to Zyra just a little bit ago. Karu has lost track of time. She was learning some songs.
Oh, okay. And then she sort of stops and goes, because like in this area, which is mostly about the family offices, there's only one sort of dank katina, right? So there's not a lot of it. So I think you see her kind of get out of the ship and call for what's the word for those ships that kind of do the air skimmer, like they have the big fan on the back kind of thing. So she calls
like a
for
fan boat?
hydrofoil?
yeah, like
fan boat?
hydrofoil.
yeah, fan boat. Like she calls for a ship and she gets like something like that, but it's very Star Wars, you know.
Of course it's Star Wars.
Made of sort of brass colors and, you know, very heavy looking.
Yeah, we'll say it's similar to like the first episode of Mandalorian. It's like got a droid that's kind of embedded into it that drives it. And yeah, so you're making your way there. So we'll cut to Princess Zyra Tarvo as the Gunnick the Trandoshan, followed by the human female and the little Jawa, make their way over to you. And Grinnick is,
Yeah.
you know, he's
I'm
rather
turning
tall.
on. I am turning on my communicator so that Karu can hear what we're saying. And also, after I've done that, I will sit back like I'm relaxed and have no care in the world, but I keep my hands beneath the table and draw my blaster.
He comes and stands over you and says, well, actually, he just reaches, you know, with this big, you know, he only has like 3 fingers, right? And they're real big, like the size of 2 fingers thing. And he drops a puck. And poof, this little hollow of you kind of rotates around. By the way, are you still wearing the foil? Like, does your hair look different?
No, but I have the spikes. I have these spikes
Okay.
now on my
And
hair.
the spikes now?
And yeah. And
In
I
the
look
picture,
at
you don't have the
that-
spikes.
Yeah, I look at it and I say, that one's got different hair. Grannick, that's not me.
It's you. 20,000 credits. I gotta bring you in warm.
Yeah, but you know, my family won't like that. And do you really want to piss off all the Unbound? Is that worth 20,000 credits though?
It's a legit bounty.
Yeah,
It's a
sure.
job.
Yeah, but there's consequences.
The Jawa's kind of moving around. You can tell he's trying to get a little flanking.
And I'm
range
looking at them
there.
and say, hey, buddy, don't try that, okay? We're all chill here, right?
He
Yeah.
reaches out and he pulls out this like a little ion blaster. And people
Oh damn.
feel like, oh man, this is gonna be a fight. And there are other people just making their way. Like, I'm getting away from
damn.
this.
So this is gonna be a fight, right? Okay, well then. Never say I ran from a fight and then I'm shooting my blaster. And I think what I'm going to hit is I'm going to hit the you know, there's this this music thing that is blaring out these shanties, and I'm gonna hit it so that it will give out this screechy noise. And I
Okay.
know that Trandoshans have very fine ears. So do I, but hey. And I will then take a backflip and oh no, I've a better idea. You know what? I'm taking my blaster and I'm blasting a hole in the floor and I'm just dropping through into the swamp.
Into the swamp. That doesn't sound problematic.
I think that's easy. That's a better solution. And I'm going like, okay, that's gonna be fine. I've never been one to run from a fight, and then I'm running from a fight.
Oh man, why are you running from this fight? I'm sure it would have been you know, easy-ish.
Yeah, I've been told that 3-1 is bad odds, and I need to change the situation to give myself better odds.
All right. Well, they are not going to just stand there and go, oh, she's being creative and smart. Zyra got away and we did nothing about it. I think they're going to try to shoot you or hit you or something. So I'd like to see you make a roll here.
Okay.
I think success will be pretty impressive.
Huh.
So let's go with a 12.
Oh wow, I've got a fight of the 8 fight, so I can't make that anyway. Oh, only
Oh,
if the die explodes.
yeah, if the die explodes, it's tough. Yeah, but it's not
Yeah,
impossible.
it's not impossible. It's pretty hard, but it's not impossible. Or maybe I can roll flight because I'm running.
Oh, that makes more sense. You should do
That makes
that.
more sense, right? Yeah,
Totally makes more sense.
I'm not fighting here. I'm changing my circumstances, but I don't have a roll modifier of this. I won't. And you've said it's a 12, right? Huh.
Yeah, the difficulty is a 12.
That's still hard. Yeah. Well,
I know. Getting
oh,
away
I
from
have an
3
8.
bounty hunters.
I have an 8.
You have an 8.
So
Guess what?
it's-
You
yeah.
get an adversity token. Doesn't that sound
I-
great?
No, not under these circumstances. No, but it's only -4, so failed not too
Huh.
badly.
Yeah, I feel not too badly. You get an adversity token. It's like a win-win, except for the whole, yeah, the whole part of like not actually succeeding at the task to try to get. So you fail, but not too badly. Might be some minor short-term consequences. So you fire at the floor, and that's when the Jawa fires at you, and he hits you with basically a concussive blast. It's not the kind of thing that would kill, but it definitely hurts. And as a result, you're going to lose access to one of your improvements. You get to choose.
Okay.
Because there's no hit points in this game. When you take damage, you effectively take damage to your improvements.
I think right now the Unbound membership is apparently not very useful. So I am going to mark that one. And I'm using this color here so you can see that I don't have that right now.
Cool. I dig it. You drop down, and the little Jawa, he's scrambling after you. He is fast, and he's dropping down the hole after you try to chase after you.
On the other hand, thinking about this, I mean, I might mark lucky and use the Unbound member because I could spend an adversity token to locate and receive help, which I kind of need. Oh, you know what? I don't need help. I have my friends. They will come and rescue me.
Oh, that's such.
Yeah.
Your faith in your friends is yours. Oh, he's dead. It's fine. He went down the hole, guys. He's totally gone.
Maybe he has some clones running around.
Maybe. I'm sure that's the thing. And we'll never find out for sure because shoddy storytelling. Awesome. You do that thing. Marseille, Karwu, you hear this conversation, right? Through
Hear the
Karwu's
conversation.
phone.
Yeah. Well, and I've got the comm too. So
Yeah,
I've
right.
got a comm link as well. So yeah. So, and I've got the ship, so I'm coming in there. So I think when I hear the splash, I don't try to go into the bar. I actually come in under the bar with the ship, and I will try to pull her out.
Oh, that sounds crazy. Let's give you a flight, right? Because you're kind of flying. Yes.
Real quick, because I think the ship is like halfway in pieces at this point. Should we use our speeder that we took? We have like a super cool speeder.
That's true.
And the ship that I meant was the airship. So that
I knew what you meant.
Oh, right. I apologize.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes. Okay.
So how about we retcon that instead of you called for your family to send you this fan boat, that you're using the speeder you guys have paid for?
Oh, speeder's awesome. Yeah, that's
Sweet.
awesome.
So you like whip under, and I think it's one of those where you guys have to like duck down, and I'm imagining that there's like that dome windshield that kind of boosh, it crashes because it's teams in space. So that thing like spits, candy glass everywhere. But let's have you make that flight roll to grab Zyra Tarvo.
Okay, let's see what my flight is. I'm sure it's awesome.
It's not
D10.
terrible.
D10.
Yeah.
Let's see here, and I'm trying to protect her, right? Defender.
You are
From
certainly
her
like
dangers.
100%.
Yes.
And I'll say that the
So-
speeder itself, I mean, it doesn't say, but it's got to have some kind of thruster. So let's give you a D6 on that.
Okay. Oh, take all of it because I roll terribly.
You don't. And we're going to say that the difficulty here is extraordinary. So I hate to do it, but I'm sticking with the lucky 13 yet again. I just love that difficulty number.
Got no kind of kindness. Okay, so I've got a +3 modifier.
You're rolling a D10 and a D6.
Yeah, and since it's trying to make me roll a D20, which is why I'm delaying. I'm sorry, it keeps putting.
That's
it back
okay.
in
No,
there.
take the time you need. I was just making sure.
I got a
10
14.
explodes. You got a 14. You get to roll that 10
Oh.
again.
Ooh, cool. Okay. 0 and
Okay,
a
so you got a
3,
17 all
Jesus.
told.
Yes.
Difficulty was 13, which means you're +1 to +4. You succeed, but not impressively. You shouldn't gain any benefits beyond mere success. But you get to narrate your success. So what does it look like as you go underneath? So I guess it's like on stilts, right? Is that what you did?
And remember, everything sways, right? So that's like as it sways, you have to like change how you're going in there. And so she's kind of going between the stilt things, and when she kind of sees Zyra come up, she starts heading over there, and she sees the little Jawa drop down as well. And so she does like one of those kind of slick moves where she sort of comes in where her speeder is between the Jara and Zyra, and she pulls her up onto the back behind her. Like, come on. It actually looks cool.
Of course
Just
it
that
does.
one moment, there are no witnesses to this except for the Jawa. And then
The Jawa thinks for a second that you're dashing.
I know exactly. I've convinced someone in this universe.
Scars is like, how dashing is that? Oh,
Very convinced that you are dashing right now.
Yes. Okay. That's all I really needed.
cool.
Yeah.
Did you like grab Zyra's hand kind of thing and like yank her up into the speeder? Is that what that looked like? Oh, you muted
You're
yourself. Sherry.
muted.
Yes, I grab her arm, and then as she's kind of coming up, I also use my foot to give her something to put her foot on to sort of push herself up. So
Awesome. Sweet.
helpful
Real quick,
ladder.
what's Zyra's reaction to being saved by your ship?
Yeah,
mate?
that's what I was banking on pretty much. I mean, it's not. I'm grateful, and she's very dashing doing that. But I'm shooting at the Java, not mainly not to hurt him, but just to discourage him, just to encourage him diving into the swamp a bit more. For
Awesome,
cover and
because
stuff
his
like
plan
that.
is he's like, evidently this gun has several different settings. It like twists the nozzle, and he starts firing this little grappling hook thing out to try to latch onto your speeder, because he's gonna, I don't know, like water ski or something. He's figuring out the plan
Cool.
as he goes. Yep.
He's gonna hang on. That's what
He's gonna hang on. That's his number one plan. Everything else will figure it out as he goes. So Zyra, if you were to take a pot shot at him, let's
wanna
go
take a
ahead
pot
and
shot.
have you do that.
I'm not very good at that, but as we've established. But hey, what's my difficulty?
I think we're gonna call it a 10.
Okay, that means I won't be able to do it at all. Let me see if there's something else I can do instead of fighting. So this is maybe it's more like dodging. I mean, I'm shooting, sure, but all I want him is to discourage him. I don't want I don't want to hurt him.
Okay.
So can I roll this with grit, maybe?
Grit, or you could roll it with flight and just like kind of take over the controls from Marseille. Like you see what's going on.
Harsh. Poor Marseille.
No, I don't want to take over the controls of Marseille. I mean, she's flying, she's being the captain. I won't do that to another person. I mean, she's not that terrible at flying.
Yeah.
Grit's good at rolling with dodging, taking punches,
Yeah,
not
Maybe I
easily
can roll with-
broken. Yeah,
I
think
can roll with fight if you want me to.
I do.
Okay.
The 8 might explode. We never know.
Yeah, it probably won't. So, oh, well, it will. Haha, I've rolled an 8. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, you have
I'm
little
rolling.
faith. Roll a 1. Come on.
I'm
roll a
rolling
1.
it again. I'm rolling
Oh,
6, so
the
it's 14.
14. Nice.
Yeah, Yeah, Merc bread
Oh, that's
seems
sweet.
to
So
work.
yeah, it's a thing where the little grappling hook like latches on, but then you fire and you're trying to discourage him. So do you think like you narrate, he's trying to latch on to hang on. What did you do to stop him from being able to do that?
I think he basically sees me pointing the blaster in his direction and pulling off a rather accurate shot, and he decides that maybe getting cover is a better idea than shooting his grappling hook thingy.
Cool.
Because,
All right.
because
Yes.
if he's dead, then he won't
You can't
shoot
collect
any.
on anything. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So Squaz Batiki, the Jawa bounty hunter, will let it go. He is like, yep, I'm not paid to get killed doing this job. So he ducks down and scampers out of the way. You guys are on a land speeder, and you've rescued the princess. Literally, good job. Like Mario or something. But you're
Can hardly
zipping
get more
along.
dashing than that.
Yeah, and she's like, we probably need to change before dinner. And I think she will she will sort of bring the speeder around and actually take it up a set of ramps to the Marseille house and go, here, I think I have some clothes in my room that you can wear.
Yeah, that might be good. I fell into the water twice.
So
Yes.
do I see Zyra at any point before she goes and gets changed with your clothing?
Yeah,
No?
I
Okay.
think you would.
Why, you worried about the hair?
Yes, I'm worried about the hair. If I see Zyra, that's the first thing I'm going to say. What happened to your hair? Yeah.
I fell into the water. Twice. Nice.
Yeah, I'm guessing she has, so you're asking, how does her hair look? And we're like, it's different.
It's still there.
Since it was all extensions, but yeah, so she'll take you up into the house proper, and you walking through these kind of big, spacious, like very tall rooms with the light kind of up high. Clearly they put it all in so that it kind of has that look of like sunlight's coming in, and then they can adjust it back and forth, but it's definitely got that kind of diffuse light to it. And she takes you through what's essentially a maze as far as you can tell, but clearly she's super familiar with it. And you get into her room and it is...
and you will know enough that you have to hurt Zyra in a place like that.
Yes, exactly. She pretty much just holds your hand and leads you very fast, if that makes any sense. So you don't have time to stop.
Yeah.
And then you get to her room and she walks in and she looks at it and you see her like immediately start like moving things so you don't see them, because she's got like all of her childhood stuff there and she's clearly trying to hide that. And like the first thing she sees
is that a plush
her
Wampa?
boy, yeah, and her boy band posters. And she's like,
damn, I always wanted
I was
a
away
plush
at
Wampa
school.
like that.
I hadn't like seen the room for a long time. Not true, but
Cute.
she says it. But
So
yeah,
are you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and she'll open up her closet and it's egregiously big and full of lots of different things to choose from. So one of the things that's weird that you see is clearly she has clothes from when she was a little child. So when she's older, you can see like the clothes like sized down, like clearly for the States, they don't discard those clothes. So
Oh, you have a lot of clothes.
We can find some that fit you, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've always had hand-me-downs, mostly. I've had some t-shirts for myself, stuff like that. But
Because well, if we come back, I can have something tailor-made for you, but we don't have time today.
yeah, that's fine.
Do you want pink? I think I've got some pink in here.
I don't know. I don't feel very pink today. I mean, I don't have to be a princess right now, right?
No, you could go right on to just being royalty. Purple, red, royal blue.
I like purple. Purple sounds fun. Yeah,
All
we'll
right,
go with, and we'll go with my tattoo, I guess. So
all right. Yeah.
I think Zyra's joking and Mars maybe serious. Like
Yes.
that's the part that
Syra's not really joking. Purple will go with her tattoo. Her tattoo is purple, so
okay. Well, there
it's
we
not
go.
a sign of royal houses. It's just a cute little turtle, but you know.
So yeah, pick up some clothes, pick out some
Yeah.
clothes, and then she'll go take a bath.
Bath. Do we have to? Can we just have a shower?
Shower's good too.
Cool. Bath.
So
I was wet 2 times already today. That's enough water.
All right.
we'll cut away from you guys as you're discussing getting cleaned up for supper to check in with Karwu. Yeah, after that frantic save, what do? Go right back to work? Do you?
Absolutely. And I think at this point, Karwu and
Larse?
Marseille.
Lar.
We're not Marseille, Larse, right?
Mhm.
Strange family. We are. Well, our hands are like covered in grease. Karwu has like all kinds of soot all over his face. There's like this giant puddle of water outside of the gunning dream shark, still named that one. And we're like ready to do another test.
Nice. Sweet. So let's give me another roll. Let's see if you have correctly adjusted for all of the things. We'll say that with some help, with all the right tools and a bit of time, if you want to make this a planned action, you may. You need a 10.
I need a 10.
You need a 10.
Ooh, so I have planned action gives me half of the die's value.
It
or
does. So you may not be
does.
able to planned action, actually. No.
Actually, no, I think I could because I've got that would give me 5. I get a bonus of 2 for brains and then plus 3 for repairing.
Nice. Yeah, you do. It comes right at 10. So like you're not going to get anything super, but you now get a basically hydrogen engine booster. Here's the way I'm thinking it works. If you kick it in, then the sparking dream gun will gain another, like basically a boost to its thrusters of a D12.
Ooh,
But
and that's in addition to the
no,
regular
it just basically
thrusters?
kicks
Oh,
up the thrusters from a D10 to a D12. So it kicks it up a
Gotcha.
die type. But the problem is, right, because it's a secondary engine, if it causes anything to go wrong, then you guys have to drop to your D6 backup thrusters. So effectively, on a failed roll, harder to fail because you're rolling a D12 plus Zyra's amazing D20 for flight. But if you fail, it's a possibility that it kind of just takes everything offline. And I think the way we explain, as Laura says, this is really, really great. But these thrusters and this water engine, this hydrogen engine is really going to push her. She is, I mean, we really need to retrofit a lot of stuff to feel comfortable with the stability of this amount of thruster. I would say you guys use it to goose the engine. I wouldn't run her all the time with a hydrogen engine as your little booster. That's my recommendation.
Maybe we could blow our transpacitor. So
yeah, that's true.
We'll be gentle.
That's true.
There's a whole Wikipedia article of hyperdrive parts.
I
Anyways,
love that.
Yeah. Okay. And I think when it runs, you know, we do this test. I throw the breaker essentially, and the engines on the sparking dream gun. That the name is appropriate because it's not to borrow from Mario Kart here, but when the engines turn on and you throw the switch, there's like this spirally, almost like blue confetti that comes out of the engines now. and it like on the on the surface of the water behind us, like the water like divots out and pushes this huge wave, and we see the Jawa get splashed by it.
Poor Jawa. Sweet. That is awesome. So I assume Karwu, well, Lara's using this excuse to get out of family dinner. So he needs you to back him up, and he'll say, I think we're still working, right? Even though this is done, we got some post-flight checks to do, right? Right?
Absolutely.
Cool. Good, because I'll make sure we get some leftovers. Don't worry, we'll eat. But you don't want to deal with my family. Trust me when I say that. And so he says
What
that.
do you know about greenhouses?
Oh, well. Yeah, he's super interested in that. We cut to Marseille and Princess Zyra Tarvo as the two of you are coming to like this huge, it's like they pulled all the leaves out, right? This table is super long now. All the family is there except for the kids because there's like a smaller, like twin but smaller of that table in the secondary room where all of the younger kids are, and they're like already talking about throwing food at each other and getting fussed at, and you guys all coming around. Evidently, something's being delivered, and it's a real clear and present danger to the Rogers household. So I apologize for Beaker's secondary doorbell notification.
And you will have to pull Sarah into the main room because at the sounds of a foot fight, she will gravitate towards that because that sounds a lot more fun. But okay.
And I think Marseille looks you in the eye and she goes, please, I can't sit in the kids' room, okay?
Okay. That's you saved my ass out there. I will behave like an adult for you.
Thank you.
Mostly.
Best
Try
friends.
my best.
You look fabulous in purple.
I know. You too. I mean, you look fabulous. And what are you? And Sarah sees what you're wearing, so she will return the compliment. And
you guys wait, and a lot of the family are all turning to look at you, and that's when Marseille and Zyra, your comm bleeps, and you hear over the comm, well, you recognize the voice as the Trandoshan, Gunnick Nash. Well, perhaps it is a better idea that I don't try to go after a member of the Unbound. Luckily, though, your little Ratataki friend is wanted by the Black Sun. And then we end our session right there. 3 improvement points for everyone. That was great. All kinds of getting yourselves out of crazy messes and into other messes. We got the Tour de Minos going. I'm pretty excited about that. We found more about the Marseille, the Say family. That was just great. Lots of good stuff. So 3 improvement points for everybody, which you can spend on yourself or pour into Le Sheep.
Can we do something with the ship with our pooled points? I'm throwing this out here before we all waste our.
Yeah.
I think we can. I mean,
did you take my 2 points before?
Yeah. I took one. I took one of them. I took one from all of you.
Okay.
Yeah, I took one from all of you to up the turbo lasers because that's 3. But I'm thinking maybe we could up the shields. That would be 3, or we could up our engine generally. That would use up 5 of the points.
Ooh, well, the engine generally gets used when? Like when as a fallback?
No, when we fly.
Well, when we fly? Well,
yeah, every time.
Let's do that. We use it all the time.
Exactly. That was my thought.
That was 5 points?
That's 5 points. Yeah. I'll put 2.
I'll put 2.
Okay. And Greg, would you be willing to put the last one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And then I think what do enhanced scanners do?
Oh, good question.
I'm not Sure.
Okay.
I imagine the enhanced scanners, what I'd do is we just give you some, like you'd have a system boost to making rolls to figuring stuff out in your ship.
Okay. Oh, I know what we'll do. I'm going to take 2 checks of smuggler holds.
Ooh, nice.
And
Fun.
fictionally, I think a side effect of our hydro-cooled transpacitance hyperdrive is that I've actually cleared out a ton of room in the ship. This is an upgrade over the Old Republic technology for sure. And now we have these empty spaces where we can hide stuff or people.
Neat.
That's cool. I love the excuse for it. I mean, reason for it too. That's great. Sweet. Is that all the upgrades you guys wanted to work through?
Yeah,
I think I will.
I'll
yeah.
probably take something personal, but I haven't figured out what yet.
Okay, cool. Let's
I
do.
might just
Oh,
add some
yes.
more escape pods, but I can save the improvement point, and if we ever need them, spend it then and say, hey, we all have these extra escape pods all the time. So I'll just save
That is something cool I love about the way you did Lucky. It was great. Totally paid off too. Let's do stars and wishes, friends. Start
got
off with.
I have a question though.
Yes,
How do
ask
I
away.
get rid of the fact that my bound is marked? I mean, I've been shot apparently by this Java.
Yeah, I think you just need to go through getting treated, which you could easily have done in the getting dressed and everything.
I imagine that Marseille will have noticed that I was actually shot at
Yeah.
a certain point.
Yeah, I can't have you bleeding on my clothes. So
No, I don't like bleeding anyway. So that's fine. So I'll unmark that. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you for asking that. I should have thrown that out there. So good deal. Awesome. Let's start with wishes, so we can end with stars. Who would like to go first with wishes?
Let's see here. Well, one thing is I'm getting exactly what I wanted, race plus princess. That's pretty awesome. So
Sounds like a star. Come on, wish.
So we've got like so much time now. We still got 2 episodes, right? Yeah. So
I mean, there's going to be shenanigans with other racers who now see you as a threat because you won the first leg.
exactly.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Let's see here. We have to do something about setting back that fleet of Old Republic ships somehow. So put them on their heels.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're in 4th place, so that makes you a threat. You're in the top 4. There were hundreds, and you're in 4th place.
I know, but I'm talking about the fleet of the Old Republic.
Yeah, no, I was
ships.
answering Sabine's thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was sorry. I should have been responding to your verbal thing. Yeah, you guys definitely need to deal with that fleet. That is, yeah, that's a thing. I mean, surely the fleet won't become aware of Zyra participating in a race that ends at a certain place and move.
Especially dressed in royal purple. That would
royal purple. That's the thing. All right. Thank you very much, Sherry, Greg, or Sabine. Who'd like to go next for wishes?
I'll go next. I think the third thing we came up with was a, maybe not explicitly Jedi temple / Sith temple. And I know we have an undefined.
We're defining it now.
Planet
That sounds great.
Coming up. So I would love to see that a little bit. Or maybe that's yeah. I think that's the only thing, is that's the one last thing we have hanging out there to reincorporate, is some sort of Jedi Sith temple.
A Jith temple.
Is it where the Grey
So-
Jedi were? Who knows?
Oh
Okay.
man, who even knows? That's crazy.
Maybe
We'll
it's
have
a
to find out.
jizz temple and all they do is make music.
There you go. That's great.
It's just a bunch of Biff playing music, and we're like, ah.
Great. Cool. So temple. Sabine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how this is going. I love everything. But reincorporating the whole magical temple stuff thingy, I like that a lot, especially if we are on a planet that has an artificial ring around it. So there must be something on the planet that makes people not want to go there.
There you go. We just explained it. That's
Uh-huh.
great.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Clever. Very clever.
I don't
Awesome.
know how we are going to get out of all these messes, but I love to see it.
Good. Sabine, since you went last on wishes, you get to go first on stars. You have a couple stars.
Yay,
written down.
me. So many stars. Stars to you, Rich, for incorporating all our crazy wishes and doing the whole princess thing and the race thing and the having all these shenanigans and the bounty hunters and stuff like that. I kind of love that. I loved all of that. And I love Carvu with his, oh, we need to have a makeover. That is so much fun. In the middle of a race, of course, with the pilot. That is absolutely sane. Yeah. And Marseille and her family. And I wonder if they have someone who's called Blipsey and is the internal outsider there.
Blipsey.
I don't know. I just really loved your description of what the planet looked like, the planetary surface. That was awesome. I want to stay there and explore everything, but we can't because we're in a race. So, yeah, well.
It was pretty great, though.
And also
Awesome.
Star to Beaker for protecting you, Rich.
We're worried. We're very worried.
Jeez.
The great threat to the planet is the delivery people.
Greg, you're up next with stars.
Stars to Peaker for protecting Rich. Rich, yeah, of course, big stars. I love the NPCs on this have been absolutely dynamite the whole way through. Deneb, the sales priest, who I hope we get to see again. This group of bounty hunters and the Jawa with his rifle that does everything. Excellent. I love this planet, Sherry, that you created. I agree. I would love to stay here, but we have to race. Yeah, and I loved that you got a moment that was genuinely dashing as you went to save Zyra. And then, of course, Sabine. I'm so happy that we're leaning into you have lots of hair that Karwu can play with. And I can't wait to absolutely flub the role and have you tell me how badly Karwu has screwed up your hair too. It's going to be great.
I do love that we like keep building it up and we have like several phases, but we haven't done the die roll. So
It's a
check
race
to disguise or makeup.
and it's a makeover at the same time. I'm super excited.
It's the actual ultimate test of the whole process here. It's the hair. So
Awesome. Thank you,
good.
Greg, Sherry. What stars did you
Oh,
land on?
you know, it's so lovely playing with this group because everything they say and do is this delightful surprise that makes you have to like rethink what you were doing and just kind of go with it. So Sabine, first, thanks for saying it was a swamp planet because I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with that? And I had to think really hard. But it really pushed me to do something rather than kind of gray corporate, you know, sort of situation. So that was very fun. The water engine may be my favorite innovation to a ship thus far. And we have earned it. We have earned it now. So I am hoping that it will save us. So good. And Rich, the constant placing of ridiculous obstacles has been perfectly paced. And just when we need them, it has been awesome. So thank you so much. It's been great.
Cool. Said it at the top. Stars to all of you. Your vivacious teenagers are delightful, and I'm having a really great time with this. Looking forward to kicking it forward.
I've
next
made a
week.
list of all the people who want us.
I've seen that list.
It's a lot.
You called them a sales cult? What? It's good stuff. Awesome. I'll go ahead and stop the recording.